Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 12 of Trillionaire, where today is Draconic Evolution Day. Well, a continuation of Draconic Evolution Day. The last episode we started making Draconic cores, and in fact, I suspect I could order 1,000 of these right now. Oh, well, if I bump up my Draconium limit, in fact, let's go do that right now. We could order a bunch, but we don't need that many. In fact, as I mentioned at the end of last video, I'm pretty sure our system for making draconic, or yeah, the components for draconic cores is way more robust than it has to be. But anyways, I'll bump this up to 10,000 for draconium ore, so that we process more of it. And also considering if I want to try a different method for processing draconium dust. Right now, I'm just I'm passing it through the one of these mechanism machines, the enrichment chamber, and doubling it. But I think, yeah, if I sag mill it, like, we can get a lot more than double, right? Maybe I should set up a special case for draconium where we pass it through a sag mill instead. That does seem like a good idea, doesn't it? If we sag mill it, we get at least 4.1 draconium ore, and that's without a grinding ball. Then it's a matter of whether or not Enderium or Dark Steel is better. Enderium has higher main output, but and still has much higher secondary output. I suspect the End Steel will win out, but let me do some math and come to a definite conclusion. Yeah, according to my math, if we use the Enderium grinding ball, we get 6.325 on average, and the End Steel grinding ball gets us 6.84 on average. So it's slightly better to use the End Steel. So I guess we'll do that. The only reason I even kind of care about draconium ore is because the price of draconium ore is pretty high. It's $1,000 per ore, so relative to the price of all the other ores, it's significantly more expensive. So this way we get to buy a little bit less of it. But I mean, I've got 25 million bucks. It doesn't really matter. It's yeah, one of those things you do it because it feels good to save hundreds of thousands of dollars, I guess. Man, when hundreds of thousands of dollars don't matter, you know you're living the good life. All right, anyways, back to the Wyvern Core. So, to make the Wyvern Core, we need to fill a Draconic core with an ingot of primal mana, and we can do it either on the casting table or the fluid transposer. Well, I know which machine I'm using. Um, and let's just make sure there's no sneaky primal mana recipe in here. Nope, there is not. We have to make it by alloying it in the smeltery again. So, there's a lot of bits in here. All right, well, given the options, there's the magic option. So, actually, hold on. Of the magic option, we can buy life essence and starlight, can't we? So it's just liquid death. Unfortunately, we can't buy liquid death, right? Let me double check that. The fact that you can buy 2/3 of it, so starlight and life essence. If can we buy liquid death? No, we'd have to craft. Okay, then yeah, that alone probably means it's a more difficult option of the two. Um, Oopsies. So let's look at the tech option. I mean, hold on. Let's consider a little more. The other, and we also need to make Mirion, which also has to be alloyed. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, never mind. Not happening. We'll leave the magic route alone and go for tech. In the tech route, we need Enderium. That's easy. We've already made that. Uuu Matter. We are already making that. Although it has to be, we need to be able to move it in precise amounts. It's probably not that difficult. I mean, we can just do it in cells, which is 10 bucket or 1 bucket each. So that just leaves liquid DT fuel. Well, and we have to make a lot more Uuu Matter, but let's start with the DT fuel. So this is made by making DT fuel, which is tritium and deuterium. Now there's a whole bunch of mechanism machines involved. I think when you pin it and it looks like this, that means it's a gas, whereas it looks like this, it's a fluid or a liquid, which is a little weird because liquids liquids sink and gases occupy the whole thing, but whatever. Tritium comes from, we can solar activate lithium. It's probably the only way to do it is to solar activate lithium, and we can turn yeah, we can turn our lithium dust into lithium. We don't have to go the mechanism route of like doing the brine stuff to make lithium, which is convenient. All right, so that's easy. Deuterium is, I think, also pretty easy, right? We just have to get heavy water and then separate that into deuterium and oxygen, throw the oxygen out. Heavy water comes from a mechanism pump, and a bucket of DT fuel is actually quite a bit. So let's start by setting up a heavy water pump, well, an array of heavy water pumps. I'm going to do this in the mining world as well, and then we can use an ender tank to transport it. It involves a lot of pumps. There's some weird graphics glitches here where apparently if the fluid pipe and runs under or over the energy pipe, it like thinks it connects, but it doesn't. But all these fluid pipes are actually connected as one, so we can see there's heavy water building up in them. Each pump has all of its upgrades, so full stack of speed and energy upgrades, and then a filter upgrade. The filter upgrade is what makes it pump heavy water instead of regular water. It pumps heavy water much slower than it pumps regular water, but it also uses, this is the only way to get it. So each pump uses 400 RF a tick. I think there's 30 of them here, so 400 times 30 is what, like 12,000 RF a tick. Energy is being supplied via the advanced power cell, which, you know, you pay a little bit of loss, but it's fully wireless, so works for me. Anyways, this produces heavy water, and it has a significant internal buffer just in the pipes, so I don't need to buffer it anywhere else. We'll put it into an ender tank. Doesn't really matter where the tank goes, but all right, there we go. Heavy water. Now we just have to separate this into deuterium, I believe, right? Or is it? Yeah, deuterium comes from heavy water. Yeah, we can. Oh, we can get deuterium and tritium this way. But I think tritium is easier to get from lithium. Turning heavy water from our ender tank into deuterium is very easy. Just electrolytically separate it. This one electrolytic separator, fully upgraded, produce tons of deuterium. It's a gas, so it has to be stored in a gas tank. Then for the tritium, we start with lithium chemical oxidizer. Looks like we're just melting it, but whatever. Lithium dust melted into gaseous lithium. Now the next step, though, is a little tricky. To turn gaseous lithium into tritium, it is a 1-to-1 conversion. However, it requires a solar neutron activator, and this requires the HDPE sheet, the dreaded HDPE sheet. So this requires HDPE, which is like a 50 million step process. I'm gonna check. Are there more uses for HDPE in this pack? Or am I just making it literally so that I can make... Oh, here it is for... Well, okay, watch a flowing time. I don't care for that. I mean, maybe I do care for that. Watch a flowing time is pretty cool. It almost hurts me to set up a fully automated HTTP setup just for this little bit, but HTTP has enough steps that you kind of don't want to do it manually. All right, fine. We'll do all of the HTTP steps. So, it takes a bunch of these pressurized reaction chambers. I think you start with some type of plant. So really any plant can do. Maybe I'll siphon off a little bit of wheat from our wheat farm. Seems reasonable. Take it, crush it into biofuel. So let's get a crusher. Instead of using wheat, actually, I'm going to crush these dark oak saplings because they're already connected, whereas basically all 100% of my wheat is being sold. So dark oak saplings, not do anything else. We'll crush it into biofuel. Next step is to take the biofuel and react it in a pressurized reaction chamber with hydrogen and water. So we have to make some hydrogen. That's just electrolytic separating some water. The separation process produces both hydrogen and oxygen. Right now I have it configured to dump the excess oxygen because I believe this process uses more hydrogen than oxygen. It does use some oxygen though. So anyways, water comes out of a sink, the biofuel comes out of the crusher, it all goes together here into the PRC, makes substrate and ethylene. Next step, to turn ethylene into the HDB pellets. Well, there's a couple things we can do with what do we have here? Substrate. We can either combine it with ethylene to make more substrate. This is I guess a step you can do if you want to be more like resource efficient. And you have excess ethylene. I don't care for that. What I'm going to do is combine ethylene or substrate with liquid ethylene to make HDP pellets, and we'll trash this oxygen. So, step one, I have to take the ethylene that comes out of here and condense it into a liquid because this is gaseous. A rotary condensator will take the liquid or take the gas, turn it into a liquid. Then we have to pipe that into a pressurized reaction chamber. Let's see. So that's a liquid. The item is substrate. Let's do it one at a time. Liquid. We'll do. It has to come out of this side, but I want it to go in the back, I think. So extract. We'll use the blue channel, I guess. Blue into here. Good. In fact, let's also configure the sides here. Items. I want items in the back, liquids in the back, and gases will be. Gas has to come from this tank. We'll go, I guess. I don't want it to touch that tank. Like, routing these pipes is annoying because we have item pipes, liquids, gases, whatever. Okay, we'll do it like that. So I want gases will be in the front. That's at the front. Right, so that's liquid, gas, and lastly item, which comes from here. Has to be, I could use any of the remaining sides. I guess we could also use the back. Double dip. So items, input, the back, yes. Alright. Oh, wait, we have to configure you to have items output the back. There we go. Brown there, item channel, brown insert. The fact that you're not, I don't hear you running is the bad sign. Why are you not running? The items are not making it into here. Item? Wait, am I on item mode? I am. Items, input, the back. You. Items, output, the back. Why are you not extract? Alright, debugging time. I don't see anything wrong with it. My gut says it might just need a block update. One of the ends of the conduit. That should be enough to give a block update to both ends. No. Oh wait, there it goes, yeah. So this end just needed a block update. Sometimes when you change whether or not a side is allowed to like be interacted with, but don't give a block update to the conduit, it doesn't realize it can start withdrawing from there. But anyways, we are in business. Is this thing using... Oh wait, no, it's 400. Okay, I didn't see the K there. I was like, or I thought I saw a K here. I was like, is this thing using 400,000 RF a tick? No, it is not. Anyways, this makes HGP and some oxygen. We're probably just gonna avoid that extra oxygen. In theory, you can like recycle it back, but that's really more work than it's worth. So buy some more upgrades. The buying of upgrades is like the best thing. Well, okay, it's one of the many best things of this pack. This pack has a lot of best things. I love this pack. But it's really great to be able to buy upgrades. Yeah, it uses a lot of energy, huh? That's alright. We'll here, I'll even run the good energy cable to it then. But anyways, this makes HDP pellets, which we can then turn into sheets. Which of these cables? Universal. And to wrap things up, an enrichment chamber turns the pellets into sheets. We store the sheets in a drawer, connect the drawer to the ME system, and we're good to go. So, can we now autocraft the solar whatever? Not if I don't put the recipe in. But I suspect we have all the components for it? Yeah, I believe so. I don't recall if this machine is fast or slow. But we might need more than one. I suspect these also only work during the day. Based on their name, that seems quite reasonable. They do take upgrades, right? They take speed upgrades. They don't use energy. So I suspect they're pretty slow. But let's go find out. I think this lithium is gaseous lithium, right? So we have to use the gas tube to push it. Alright, Does it? Oh, right. It's in the bottom, right? And that port is the output port, if memory serves me right. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's not that slow, and that's the speed without upgrades. As long as I don't look this way, I don't lag. Something about that area there, probably the smeltery. Actually, definitely the smeltery, because there's always something going on in the smeltery. Is exceptionally laggy. So I just have to make sure not to look at it. Alright, anyways, speed upgrades only because this machine doesn't use energy, and oh, that is plenty fast. One will be more than sufficient. Alright, so then that makes tritium. So that's gaseous tritium. This is gaseous deuterium. So then do I just have to put them together to make DT fuel? But I need liquid DT fuel. So first I need to chemical infuse them together to make gaseous DT fuel, and then turn it to a liquid so we can craft with it. And I'm not sure if this is a great idea or not, but I'm going to store the final product in a demonically gargantuan drum. Holds 65 million millibuckets, or 65,000 buckets. I can find my under fluid conduits. I'm pretty sure this process is extremely fast. So, is it going in? No. Now what's the problem? The liquid, because I didn't turn it on. That would do it. Yeah, this makes 256 millibuckets per, I don't know if that's per tick, it's probably per tick. That's a lot of DT fuel. Our bottleneck eventually will actually, well, perhaps even now already, is the rate at which the chemical oxidizer here can melt lithium. Right? Melt into a gas. In fact, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna replace that because the solar neutron activator only works during the day, right? Because it's solar. We should probably put a buffer tank between the oxidizer and the activator so that the lithium production at night isn't wasted. So is there a way I can like pause this machine? Here. Pause the machine, get rid of that, and we will use a ultimate gas tank in its place. The gas tank can push and pull, so you can go again. Side configs. Input, all sides output, the top, push. So it effectively acts, same as the pipe, except it has a 512,000 I guess it's still measured in millibuckets, millibucket buffer instead of the pipe, which only has a 16,000 millibucket buffer. Alright, cool. Anyways, part of the reason I want to make DT fuel, like way more DT fuel than we need, right? If we think about it, we only need, for the primal mana, we only need like a bucket, I think it was. A bucket of liquid DT fuel per Wyvern Core. It's because the DT fuel can also be sold if we want to, or if I recall, it's a fair amount of money. Yeah, $5 per millibucket. So really, all this DT fuel costs me is energy, right? Well, and lithium, but lithium is, we make it from money. So with a little bit of money input and a fair bit of energy input, we get a lot of DT fuel, and I can just like any DT fuel above a certain bucket count, we just sell off for money. The bottleneck in our production system here, which is quite fast, by the way. I mean, it's very fast. But the bottleneck is quite clearly the chemical oxidizer. Each piece of lithium dust becomes 100 lithium, and 100 lithium becomes 200 DT fuel, which is why each update there, basically this goes up by 200 millibuckets each time this bar goes across once. And this machine's already fully upgraded. It's got all 8 speed upgrades. So why don't we try a different way of making lithium? Let's try the actual mechanism way, because I recall if you pump enough energy into it, you can actually make lithium extremely quickly, the native mechanism way. So that's done by taking water, passing it through a thermal evaporation chamber that turns it into brine, and then you pass that through a thermal evaporation chamber again that turns a brine into liquid lithium, which you can decondensate into gaseous lithium. The thermal evaporation plant is a mechanism multi-block. So it's 4x4 base. The height is however tall you want it to be. It's hollow interior and no top. So, if this is my plant, I need to, well, I have two of them. The height is variable, but I think the higher plants only increase capacity, not rate. So it's not that important that you make a tall plant. I do have a sink here. Let's actually, nope, too hard to get to that sink. Just make another one. So into the first plant here, I'm going to pump water. And I think these plants entirely work in liquids, which is convenient. We don't have to deal with gases. Which are... Yeah, I think at this point it's all liquid. So anyways, water goes in here, and it slowly converts it into brine. Now, right now, I have absolutely nothing heating it. That's why it's quite slow. But if I want to make it faster, I can use, say, a resistive heater to provide heat to it. So if I replace one of these blocks back here with another valve, all I/O has to go through the valves, but we can put a resistive heater here. Is the heater, hold on, is the green dot the input or is that the output? Never know sometimes. That looks to be the energy input. Okay. So I think it probably outputs all sides. Plug that in. We can choose how much energy to give this thing. So I don't know, 1000 RF a tick, and its temperature starts going up. It also starts raising the temperature of this thing. So as we can see, as this temperature goes up, the rate of brine production goes up. It holds a tremendous amount of water in its interior. Geez. All right. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna see if 1000 RF a tick is enough. But for now, that's making brine. Then we can transfer the brine over to this next tank. So we'll put room for valves here and here. And move that with another fluid conduit. And do the same thing. Give a heater for this second tank. And then this one will take our brine and turn it into lithium. I'm going to give it some time for them both to come up to heat. Basically, there's a equilibrium temperature that they will eventually reach. But once they reach that equilibrium, then we can determine, if for one this system is faster than the chemical oxidizer or not. And if it is fast, if it's slower, we can turn up the heat more or yada yada yada. But yeah, this is also a liquid, so actually what we could do is store it in liquid form because we have much larger liquid buffers, right, than gas buffers, and then turn it into a gas just in time to pump into the chemical infuser. That way we can store a larger buffer to pump into the solar neutron activator, rather. That way we can store a larger buffer so that we can be unaffected by nighttime production loss. Upon further testing, it seems like the height of the thermal evaporation chamber does affect its production rate. At the maximum height, which is 18 blocks total, our rate is 300 millibuckets per tick of brine, and then brine to lithium is 10 to 1, so that's only a mere 30 millibuckets per tick of brine. Anyways, this is the max temperature it gets to is 3.3 kilokelvin, and this is probably more energy than we need to get there. Well, it's way more than we need, right? We just need to reach basically the dissipated energy, 2.4926. I don't know what that K is. Kelvin is not a unit of energy. You don't dissipate. I guess you can dissipate temperature, fine. 2.4 or 249 millikelvin. Wait, dissipated 5? This is a lot less then, right? But why is it retaining temperature? I don't know, whatever. It's able to stay at its maximum temperature using 800 RF a tick. I could probably make that lower, but I don't really care to save 800 RF a tick, honestly. So this thing makes 300 millibuckets of brine a tick. That's the final product. Compared to this, which makes 100 millibuckets every about 10 ticks, This is faster, not by a tremendous amount, but I mean, 3 times faster is 3 times faster, right? But I'd say the bigger benefit is that it doesn't use power, or it doesn't consume any input. So I'm going to rip out this, or maybe we can leave it there. The two can play nice. I'll stop voiding the brine, but we can start condensing it into the gaseous form, and then piping that into the solar neutron activator. When all is said and done, that results in much higher production of liquid DT fuel. If we just look at the rate that this rotary condensator is working, when it's at right, it spends most of its time making 60 millibuckets a tick, and then every now and then, when this machine finishes an operation, it gets 200 millibuckets for that one tick. But yeah, why don't we set up a way to sell off some of our liquid DT fuel and come up with a amount of like an estimate for how much per second we are making, or perhaps per minute. Per minute's probably a more useful metric. Here's how I'm going to measure this. I have a seller hooked up on this line here. Right now, the drum is set to higher priority than the seller, so I shouldn't be selling any. If I withdraw all my money, right, I have $0 to my name and a $2 million check. So hopefully, again, I don't get mugged right now. I'm going to assume that we can sell it any side, even though this, like, it looks like you should sell items here, or fluids on the left. I don't know what's red. Energy on the right, and items on the top. Let's just test. If I set you to priority 2, we are immediately starting to make money. Okay, so let's, once again, withdraw all our money so that 26380. Yeah. Give me all. Oh, I tried to. Why does. Oh, my money goes down over time because I have stuff using it. Right. Derp. Alright, we'll just do that. So I guess the amount of money we earn will actually be a bit less than this because, we're spending some of it. But that's alright. Or rather, the amount of money we earn will be more than what we see here because we spend some from time to time. But I'm going to go set up another 5-minute timer, and then I'll start the timer right when I bump this up to priority 2. I'm just about 2 minutes into my my test here, and it's already painfully obvious that this system is way more efficient than selling wheat. Alright, I just passed the 2-minute mark. We're just a hair under 1 million bucks. That's somewhere in the order of 450,000 a minute. I'm gonna let the rest of the test run out just so I can get a better estimate for how much per minute we're making. But this is a lot of money. Last couple of seconds before the test is done. I'll turn this off when it beeps. There it goes. Yes, you can stop beeping at me now. Thank you. And our final number is 2327680. Let's do some math. 2327680 divided by 5 minutes divided by 6. Well, here, just 5 minutes, I guess, is 465,000 a minute. That's not half bad. My theoretical. How do I close this? Oh, I had to tab into the game. My theoretical income I calculated was about 480,000, assuming that this chemical oxidizer takes 10 ticks to do its job. In practice, it might take a little bit longer than that or something, or there's no way we're spending 15,000 bucks a minute on ores. So I don't know. But still, somewhere between 465 and 480,000 is our true income, our gross income, but our net income is 465,000 a tick, and that's excluding what the plants make, or 460,000 a minute. The plants made, I think it was about like 12,000 a minute, so this is a lot more money. In fact, this will make us billionaires probably in the reasonably near future. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I guess we will. What I'll do is I'll leave this running to, you know what, we don't need this large of storage of DT fuel, do we? I'm going to replace it with a more reasonably sized tank so we can start selling it sooner. Basically, if the drum is full, we can sell it. We don't need this much DT fuel buffer because it's not like I'm running an actual mechanism fusion reactor yet. swapped it out for an enchanted portable tank here. It holds 1.5 kilobuckets, which is just about what we had in the drum. The drum filled it up, and the rest is now being sold. But priority on the tank is higher than the seller, so, you know, it's a sell excess kind of situation. Anyways, fun fact, it is estimated that Jeff Bezos, the owner of the Amazon conglomerate and what all, makes about $3,700 per second. We, according to my calculation, make... let me pull the calculator up again. Oh, I closed it. Dang it. It was somewhere around $7,000 a second. That officially means we are making more money than Jeff Bezos. We are not richer than him yet. He has a value of about wait. No, hold on. Fact checking. Has a value of about $182 billion. So he is a fifth of a trillionaire. It'll be some time before we get to $182 billion. We are, let's see, at 27 million. Wait. Yeah, times 10 to the 7th. 27 million. So, coming for you, Jeff. Just wait. Anyways, with DT fuel out of the way, we can unpin a lot of this stuff. Get out of here. The last component for Primal Mana that we don't have yet is Uuu Matter. Well, that's not true. We do have it. Just we don't have that much of it. So I'm thinking we might actually want to make the Matter Forge to make Uuu Matter. So looking at it, I don't think it's any more efficient than doing it in the Mass Fabricator. However, the Matter Fabricator here has one strange, well, maybe not strange, but one limitation that it can only accept one piece of scrap a tick. So basically, that means that because I'm pumping energy into it faster than the amount of amplifier one piece of scrap produces. As a result, I'm actually being relatively inefficient overall as far as energy to Uuu Matter goes. So I'm thinking I probably want to set up this Matter Forge here. Yeah, so per tick, if I give it this one, we can give it 666,000 RF and 32 scrap, and it'll produce 1 millibucket of Uuu Matter. Now, we don't have to, I mean, it's a one tick operation, but we don't have to run it once every tick, right? So, I think this is a slightly easier way to make Uuu Matter than the Matter Fabricator. Unfortunately, it seems we're already across that dastardly 30-minute mark. So, turn on again. How did that bar jump all the way up that high when it turned? I don't know, whatever. Doing what it's supposed to do. It runs briefly. Anyways, yeah, we're out of time for today. So let's leave the Uuu Matter shenanigans for another time. Now, Uuu Matter also can sell for a lot of money. So at some point we can consider selling off bits and pieces of that for money. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, next episode we'll tackle the mass production of Uuu Matter, because honestly, right now we're producing it pretty slowly. Probably like a couple, maybe 100 millibuckets per hour, if even. So we'll just leave it running between videos. Eventually we'll come back. I expect at the start of next episode there'll be at least some Uuu Matter in the tank. In fact, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to put an upgrade on the tank. Probably being excessively optimistic, but you never know. Yeah, anyways, that's all for today. So, see you next time when, with any luck, we'll be a billionaire at the start of next video. Exciting. All right, take care, and bye-bye.